Hi, I'm Ezechimere, your compass to financial freedom. Please, if you are new to our channel or you have not subscribed, kindly like, click the subscription button, activate your notification bell so you'll be the first to know when our next videos are up. Our topic today is the character of money. That which is known by only one man could be taught to others only if they are willing and interested to know it. I will say it is my memory quote for this teaching. Something that only one man knows can be taught to other people. But the condition there is that if those people are willing and interested to know it. The information I'm about to share with you today will change your life forever. My life was transformed by these truths. It's amazing how we started very small and today see where we are. I bet you this information is about to change your life. Understanding the character, the nature, the quality, the capability, and potential of money will put a stop to your long years of running in cycles, your long years of worries, your long years of struggles. The nature of money is not different from that of the electromagnetic field. Money has nature, and the nature of money is not different from that of electromagnetic field. Electromagnetic field, we know that like charges, they repel each other, and opposite charges attract each other. What I'm trying to say is that there is a kind of energy that when you emit those energies, you will end up attracting money. And there is also an energy that when you emit them, you will end up repelling money. So money is an energy. It could be attracted and it could be repelled. So understanding the character, understanding the nature, understanding the potential, understanding the capability of money will put you in the position to know how money behaves. Money behaves in a certain way. Money can be drawn to you, money can be repelled. In fact, the summary of what I'm about to teach you is simple attitude that when you put them together, you will be amazed the volume and tons of money that will be coming towards your direction. And I hope you are ready for us to cruise. For us to gain a proper understanding of this teaching, I have subtitled the topics into 5 different points. So we'll be considering 5 points in order to do proper analysis to the character of money. On this teaching, you should expect to know the 5 laws that governs the flow of money. On this teaching, expect to take home with 5 laws that governs the flow of money. Whether money should flow to you or money should go away from you, I'm going to share with you 5 laws that governs the direction of money flow. And then the 5 points that we'll be considering are namely, point 1 is going to be money is like a tree. Point 2 is going to be money is willing to work for a wise owner. Point 3, money stays with a cautious owner. Point 4, money slips away from an unskilled owner. And lastly, which is the 5th point, money disgusts and works against the greedy and gullible. Point 1, money is like a tree. Just like a tree, every tree begins with a seed. The journey to wealth, The journey to having abundance begins with a seed, just like a tree. Whether you call it a monster tree, whether you call it an apple tree, whether you call it an orange tree, they begin with a tiny seed. The same way, the accumulation of wealth begins from a seed. All kinds of wealth grows from a tiny seed. This is why everyone has the capacity to create wealth, because you don't need much to grow wealthy. You just need a seed. So everybody can afford a seed. But the most important question that I should be asking is, how soon do you want this tree we are talking about? How soon do you want it? It's not the question of whether you can have a tree or not. The question is, how soon? Parkinson's law states that the time required to perform a task tends to extend to all the time available to perform it. That is, if you want it to take you like 20 years to begin to have money tree, then it will take you 20 years. That's what Parkinson's law states. The time required to perform a particular task is equal to the amount of time that is available. If you make up your mind today that you are going to use 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to begin to build wealth, then Parkinson's law will work for you. So I'm asking the question again, how soon do you want this tree? This principle highlights our tendency to inefficiency when we have more time than we really need. The principle, it highlights our tendency to become inefficient when we have more time. Some people think that they have the whole lifetime before they can grow wealth. So the energy, the effort they put in order to generate or grow wealth is like forever. While to some other people, they see it as something that is urgent, something that they should start now. And the moment you give it a short time, you don't defer the time, the same way you will be able to achieve the success in no time. Now, it's not just all about planting a seed. It will take more than planting a seed. The more faithful you nourish and water the tree, the sooner you will take cover under its shade, protection, and supply. What I mean is, money or wealth, being like a tree, begins with a seed. And for you to start benefiting from the tree that will become a seed to give you harvest, it will depend on how faithful you tend the tree, how careful you support the tree until it begins to produce for you. Now, the moment money begins to come, according to Parkinson's law, it states that expenditures will keep rising to meet income. Expenditure will always rise to meet income. As you earn more money, then you will end up spending more money. Therefore, in order for us to succeed financially, we need to go against Parkinson's law. And how do you go against Parkinson's law? By setting a spending limit. You set a spending limit. Remember, I said that money or wealth is like a tree. You have to start with a seed. Now, as you begin to set a seed apart, for you to be successful in this act, because there is a tendency that the moment you begin this, more money will begin to come. If you don't set a spending limit, you will end up spending the whole money. And how do you set a spending limit? You set a spending limit by building this mentality and following this action of paying yourself before you spend. You don't spend and then try to save after you have made your expenditure. I have an experience in my younger days. I used to be the person that takes care of the house. Those days, I was a bit younger, especially when our parents will be traveling. The moment our parents will drop money for us to manage for 2-3 days, my elder brother will immediately take out some portion of the money. What he does with it, I cannot really explain on this video. I will discover that the amount of money that was left for us will always be enough and will be exhausted before our parents will come back. That was my observation. So if he takes away XYZ amount of money from that bulk of money that was given to us, it will be enough. If he takes away less than that, it will be enough and will also be exhausted. So I got to understand that no matter the amount of money that you set as your spending limit will always be enough for you. The question of the money I have is not enough is completely not true. Because if you intentionally, like my elder brother will do, take out a portion of that money, the family will still survive until the day our parents will come back. So had it been he did not take out any amount of money, because there is this consciousness in us that there is always an extra money, we will spend more. I learned how to ration the meal, how to encourage the people the way you should eat, because we have already budgeted our spending. So this is how you will set a spending limit. Before you begin to spend from your earning, take away a portion to save. So then you can now live on the rest. It's not you first of all spend from your earning and then try to save from what is left. It doesn't work that way. It can never work that way. The truth is, all the while you have been using this strategy, how much have you saved? It doesn't work that way. It's against the law. So what you do is you learn to pay yourself first. Now, why am I sharing this? I'm sharing this because, remember I said that money has an energy, just like electromagnetic field. It has an energy. The mentality of putting something aside is like you emitting a positive vibes, a positive energy. Now, money tends to have something like a negative energy. Then there is a mentality that the moment you wear it, what you'll be giving out constantly will be a negative energy. And you know, like charges, they will repel each other. So it's like you are trying to keep the whole money to yourself. Mentally, you are sending a signal that you don't have enough. That is why you want to amass, you want to accumulate, you want to eat, you want to keep everything to yourself. That's a negative energy. But if you decide to put away some portion, even though that portion was not enough for you, that is just between you, in the figment of your imagination, that it's enough for you. It's not enough for you, rather. The moment you begin to cultivate the habit of taking out some portion from your earning, the signal you are sending out to the universe is that you have more than enough. And then you even have a reserve. That is a positive energy. Even the Holy Book states that to him that has, more shall be given to him. But to him that has not, even that which he is supposed to have will be taken from him and be given to the person that has, so that the person will have abundance. So this is a law. It is a principle that the moment you begin to put something aside, you are sending a signal into the universe that you have. And of course you have. It doesn't matter the quantity of what you have. The point there is, do you have? Yes, you have. You know, a lot of people, when you ask, they say, we don't have money. We don't have enough money. You are only sending a negative signal. And that negative signal repels money. So the mentality and ideology of you putting something aside is not because you have too much. It's because you want to conform with the nature that attracts more money. In fact, the moment you begin to do this, something that seems mysterious will begin to happen. Let me give you a typical example. Typical example is, if you get a cube of sugar or a drop of honey, just drop it on the floor. It's just a matter of time. You will discover that ants will just gather around it. How does those things happen? They send signal that there is something here for you. It is the same signal that you send when you begin to cultivate the habit of putting something aside. Remember, I said money is like a tree. It begins with a seed. The seed doesn't need to be too much. As little as you can, just start putting it aside. But the bottom of the principle is that learn to put out a minimum of 10% of what you earn. When you begin to do this, you will enjoy the service of money. Now, I want to share with you the first law of wealth. The first law of wealth states that money comes increasingly to the person that will not put anything less than 10% of his earning to create an estate for his family and future. The moment money discovers that you are this individual is a law. It is a law. The moment you obey this law and money discovers, money knows that he knows who obeys the law and who does not obey the law. And that you are ignorant of the law is not an excuse. But today you are getting to know the law. Don't break this law. If you want money to come to you in increasing measure, then you should learn to begin to set apart a minimum of 10% of whatever you earn. The moment you begin to do this, it is natural for money to begin to come to you. This has happened to me and is happening to me. You know, we struggle today to put away 10%, but I can tell you, there are certain people that they are only living with 10% of their earning today. But you don't start from there. They are struggling to see how to exhaust 10% of their earning. But you start by trying to save 10% of your earning. A time is going to come that the table will turn. I can tell you for free that there are people living today that they cannot even finish 1% of their earning. How did they come about it? You must learn to put away something, minimum of 10%. It is expected for a wise owner that before he or she spends the money he has saved or she has saved, that money must be passed through an investment. After the money has been passed through an investment, you can now live on the return from that investment. That is where we talk about the quality of money. Have you heard this before? That 1,000 is not equal to 1,000. 1,000 that you earn by working is not of the same quality with 1,000 that you get as a return on investments.